Welcome to this tutorial on using the library homepage. My name is Jillian Vanderven and I am your education librarian. So to start off, we're going to visit the library homepage. So from the UofR homepage at the top, we can click on library and that'll give us access to the library's homepage. There's a series of gray tabs in the center of the page, and these are our access points for pretty much all of our resources and services that we offer at the library. Today, I want to spend some time looking at Quick Find, which is kind of like our library catalog, but I usually say it's the Google of our library, because it searches everything that we have in print and most of our digital resources as well. I'd also like to spend a little time looking at some of our databases, and in particular, our education databases that are geared towards education research. So to start off with Quick Find, we have a simple search box here where we can add some concepts or keywords to try and find research information that is relevant to our topic area. But I'm going to recommend that we try the advanced search option. This provides us with more of a fill-in-the-blank type of format, and I found it a little bit easier to build our search from this format in this web page. So there's quite a few different options that we can use within the Quick Find search function to tell the database specifically what we're looking for. So as we look through some of the drop-down menu options, we have our resource type. So we can tell it specifically that we're looking just for articles or books, or we can just leave it open and let it show us everything that we have under that category that we search. We can tell it a specific language or a specific date range. And here we can be quite specific if we have a title, if we know the author or creator that we're looking for. But I always like to start broad and use any field. So the best way to conduct our search is to decide what keywords and concepts best describe what we're looking for. So a lot of databases don't work well with what's called natural language. And that's natural language is like asking a question or typing in a paragraph. So we need to be very specific in databases and tell them what words we want them to find. So for example, if I'm looking for how curriculum is used in the field of science, but incorporating, say, a First Nations aspect to it, I have to decide what the best keywords are to use. So First Nations, most likely curriculum, and I'm going to add a new line for a third keyword, and I want to look for science in particular. I can even add an additional keyword if I want to specify that I only want high school curriculum or primary school. So I can kind of continue that from there, but we'll see what we get with this to start. These little guys on the side here are quite important, and they're called our operators or our Boolean operators. And they consist of and, or not. And what these little guys do is they just tell the database the relationship or the importance of each of these keywords. Right now, I'm using and in between each. So essentially what that means is I'm telling the database it must find the word First Nation and curriculum and science. So all three of these key concepts have to be included in all of the research or all of the articles that are brought up in the search. Other operators listed here are your or and not. Or is commonly used to find different variations of a term or giving the database a set to choose from. So for example, I might put or math or English, and this allows the database to find any one of these or all of them. It can choose which ones to find. Your last operator that's listed here is not. Not is simply used to exclude a term. So I might say science, not English. And this just excludes that term. So if I'm doing some searching and it keeps coming up with English language examples or English classroom examples, I can tell it simply to exclude that term from my search. So let's begin. We'll launch our search with these key terms and scroll down to see the results that we've retrieved. So on the top of the page here, it'll show us how many results have been retrieved with our keywords. We have quite a few results. So what we can do at this point is we can refine our search even further by using the facets on the left-hand side of the screen. So we can limit our search by type of resource. Peer-reviewed journals is a common request from faculty, and peer-reviewed journals just means an article or an item that has been vetted or has gone through some sort of quality control process by professionals in the field it's been written on. We can also see our resource types. So if I click on Show More, it tells us how many articles, books, conference proceedings, and etc. that we've retrieved with our key terms. And we can tell the database to exclude certain terms by clicking Exclude. So beside each item, if I go back down to resource type, you can see Exclude conference proceedings, for example, and that will just take out the items that we're not interested in viewing. There's also more specific ways to limit. Going down, we can select a subject area, an author or a creator, a journal title, and etc. In the center here are all the items that we've retrieved with our search term. To view an item, we simply click on the title, and this will bring up what we call the bibliographic record. And this gives us all the information about this item, including how to view the item. So as we scroll down, there's a link for our full text, and there's two links here to access the full text. So it's available in both of these databases that we have access to. If we scroll down even further, it gives us a bit of a description of what this item is about. And this can be very helpful to us. This is usually called an abstract or a summary. So this gives us a little synopsis of what this article or book or whatever we're looking at is about. And this will help us determine if it's going to be useful to us. So if it's something that we're interested in and we find useful, we can click on full text. We can choose one of the two, whichever one that we like to do our searching in. And this will link us directly to the article. So the full text is available directly below, and there's also a PDF option as well. This will give you the entire journal article. Going back to Quick Find and closing this, we have all different types of information, including books. If we open up a book record, it gives us similar information, but it will also give us location. So if the book is not an ebook, it's an actual physical item, it'll show you the location. This is called a call number. So for this book, it's in the First Nations University Library, which everyone at the UofR has access to, and it gives you a location number. It also gives you details, and this is important and saves you a little bit of time before you make a trip over there or download the article. So be sure to review the description to ensure that it's helpful to you. And then you can proceed to either click on the link or, in this case, visit the library and check out the physical item. Quick Find is a great resource, especially if you're just starting your research and you're not really sure which database to use. But some of the databases have more specific or targeted information to different topics. So we're going to visit some of the databases that we have access to. So clicking on the database tab from the home page, we can choose a subject area. So we have over 400 different databases. Some of them are multidisciplinary and some are targeted towards specific areas. If we choose by subject area, we can scroll down and choose education. And if we search the education databases, it'll provide us with a list of all of the databases that pertain to education research. Each of these databases have a description underneath, which will tell you a little bit about what types of information you can find. Some databases are quite specific, while others search all different areas in education. So be sure to review the description to determine whether or not that database will be helpful for you. I'm going to start doing some research on the same topic we searched in Quick Find using a database called Education Database. This database covers almost 400 leading journals in the field of education and is a very large database in education, one of our most popular databases. To enter the database, you can click on the title. If you're off campus, you'll be presented with a login. This is the same login as your UofR courses. So you can just use the same Novell login and it'll grant you access at home as well. So clicking on the database title will enter the database. You'll find that each database has a similar setup. So you'll be presented with a search box. If we choose the advanced search, just like we did in Quick Find, it will give us more of that fill in the blank type of format, which I enjoy working with. We also have our little operator set up for us here, which helps us construct our search. And then if we scroll down, there's quite a few different options to select if we know very specifically what we're looking for. So I'm going to start our search in the same way that we searched in Quick Find, using the same topic. So I'm going to be looking for First Nations curriculum. And my last term will be science. So using the and to combine each of these search terms, and I'm going to allow those keywords to be searched anywhere. And the anywhere search means that it can find the word curriculum in the title, in the abstract, which is that little summary, or anywhere in the full text of the article. And it has to reach a certain amount of find within the full text in order for it to be relevant. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that search. And as you can see, it's a fairly similar process that we did in Quick Find. And that's the same for a lot of databases. Even if the interface is slightly different, we're still going through a very similar process. Okay. So our results listing is at the top here. And just like Quick Find, we have a lot of filters that we can select on the side if we want to limit even further at this point. So I might be only interested in scholarly journals or peer-reviewed. So as I mentioned, peer-reviewed is that quality control process that articles go through to become peer-reviewed. So it's just a vetting process. I'm going to look at our scholarly journals to start. And there'll be a mix of different languages in here. You can select English only down at the bottom under language, if that's what you prefer. And we can start to click on each title and view the abstract or the little summary about this item to determine whether or not it's helpful to us. So if I click on the title, it'll show me information about this item. And a lot of times the PDF will be built directly into the article. Okay. We can also click on abstract in details. And this gives us a little description about the article and the subjects that it covers, which can be helpful. So curriculum, teaching, science education, and Indigenous people. And you can see the highlighted terms are the terms that I use to search. So it's identified this article because of these items or these terms, these highlighted terms. And this is all the information about the particular article itself. So to access this one in particular, we can view the PDF. Some articles won't have a PDF directly built into them. So as I scroll down here, most of them you can see underneath each article will have a full text PDF. You may come across one from time to time that doesn't have that available. And what it will say is it'll say, where can I get this? We'll just see if we can find one here that has that. Yeah, right here, number 2. Under here, there's no PDF, but there's a tab that says, where can I get this? So if this is something that you're interested in, you can click on this link and it will help you find the item. So if it's not something that we have in that database, it might be something that we have in another database. So what it's doing is a cross-reference. So it's found this particular item in a database called Science Direct, and that link's just taken us into that database where we can download the full issue or download the PDF. And we can find that article in the list here. So if you ever do a search and there's no PDF, do click on where can I get this, and that will help you locate that item. I've had fairly good success with my searches today, but you may need to tweak or change your keywords as you do your search, in particular if you're not finding the information that you need. So for example, First Nations, if that's not a key term that's bringing me information that I'm looking for, I might be able to use the term Aboriginal or Indigenous in place of this, or I can put First Nations or Aboriginal or Indigenous. And change up some of the keywords to make sure I'm actually retrieving the information that I require. So that's just one of the databases that we have access to. We have many databases, both in education and all different topics. All of the interfaces are slightly different, but all function the same way. So you need to decide once you receive your topic or decide on what topic you want to work in, what are the best keywords or concepts that describe what you're looking for. And that's what you're going to be plugging into the databases to tell them what you're looking for. If you have any questions, once again, my name is Jillian Vanderven. I'm very happy to help you. You can email me at jillian.vanderven@uregina.ca, or you can leave a message on my phone at 337-2424. Thank you very much.